Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
We recording, Gordon?
Gordon's recording.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Freedom 35ers, Cardano NFT Podcast, episode 42, technically episode 43 for all the OGs out there. My name is Tommy. I go by TOMMY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear.
And tonight we are joined by, we have a podcast inception going on over here. We're joined by NFG Ryan and Devon, guys from the NFG Non-Fungible Guys podcast. Welcome on.
What's going on? That was awesome.
Your podcast within a podcast, right?
Yeah,
I love the Inception reference. And that was a good intro, man. It was so smooth.
It was perfect.
Nobody
try.
knows,
Good.
nobody knows
One
about
try.
the behind the scenes action there. Maybe somebody will know. We might clip
Can
that
you
out.
Can you guys see me though? Like, is that, can you see me?
I can hear you just fine. Hear you just fine.
All right.
Nobody's gonna have any reference to this.
I know. Yeah, why are we starting with inside jokes right away?
We don't. Do we know each other? No. We do know each other actually, which is awesome. Maybe I don't know if anybody really knows inside the space unless they've been listening to either you guys or just anything that we tweeted out back in the day. But we actually have an episode together. We are on your podcast. I don't remember which episode it was, but
I was going to say, how long ago was that?
I was going to say, I'll look it up real quick.
I'm very curious.
Right.
I should have looked it up beforehand.
It wasn't
35.
You know what?
I know
It
that.
was it 35?
It was episode 36 or 34. It was like
I
right.
remember
just
being
missed
right
it.
there, too. I was gonna
That was
say
a
that.
topic of conversation.
Yeah.
That was evidence of Ryan's freakish memory, guys. Like, I'll be like, Ryan, what did we do in grade 12? He's like, it was raining that day. It was a Thursday. We had grilled cheese for lunch.
We have
And then
many
just
friends.
rattles
Same.
off. He's great.
Dude,
Yeah, we have. Don't even lie.
that's like somebody asked me about that. Which was J Crypto actually? I'm like, episode 16. I was like, yeah. Why do you remember that?
Yeah, why do you remember that?
don't
That
know,
is
dude.
pretty good.
But yeah, so it was back in the day. At least it had to be a couple months ago. But it was honestly probably one of my favorite episodes we've ever recorded. We've been meaning to get you guys back onto the show for a while now. It's just been things would get crazy in this space and then stuff happens. But I'm glad that we're getting a chance to do it now finally, because you guys have been growing. You guys have been putting your footprint into Cardano into this ecosystem as well a lot more recently, which I'm sure we can kind of talk about some stuff that you guys are doing tonight. But dude, we really just appreciate you guys hanging out, because this is we always felt like, all right, there's not really a podcast on Cardano for NFTs yet, which is part of the reason why we got started doing what we're doing. And then me and Ryan ran into each other. I think it was the Pavia Discord way back when.
Way back.
And I was like, yo, you got a podcast? I was like, yeah, I got a podcast. He's like, dude, we should link up one day. And then it kind of worked out from there. Here we are.
Was that our
almost
first
a year.
time being on someone else's show? I think it was, right?
I don't remember, dude. I don't remember
That
whatever
one?
month that was. It was back. I think we went on Blake's show. That was like our first
Okay, maybe that was.
it
'cause they had
was,
been on ours right away. Yeah.
It was
Would
in
have been
April.
May, right?
It was in April.
April?
Well, we dropped
Wow.
the episode April 28th, so it would have been.
Okay.
I think that we did it the Monday prior to that.
It had to be the right before Overexposed minted, because I didn't mint yet. And I know we were talking about
What a
that.
Yeah, we
plug.
did talk about
Always
it.
a plug for your dumb one of
You
one.
wanna know why?
We all know.
No,
Well,
what I'm
you-
saying is there's an Overexposed behind Ryan right now. So
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
that's what triggered that memory. Not that I think I have a one-on-one guy.
It was
Kinda
episode 36 for us.
Episode. Damn. So we were just right there. So
I was
technically,
thinking that when we were on Blake's episode 35. I
Yes.
thought the same thing. I was like, which one was it that we were like one off? And that's what it was.
Yep.
yeah,
It was
crazy stuff. But dude, great to have you guys on tonight. I know we kind of just went through like a full like little catch up moment without even like fully introducing who you guys are.
True.
But yeah, for everybody who is listening who has no idea who you are and any of these inside references, can you guys give a little bit of backstory on yourselves? What is Non-Fungible Guys? You guys have a podcast, obviously, but can you guys explain a little bit about how you guys got started and what led you to doing what you're doing right now?
Sweet. I love how Ryan's not even moving because he knows it's okay.
I let you take lead on stuff. You talk.
Okay, no problem.
Go
We got
ahead.
this. Okay, so yeah, this is Devon. I don't know why I'm not NFG Devon. I just kind of say my whole name and I say my name differently every time. We're a bit eccentric over here. We started this podcast because I went to NFG Ryan's house and I brought his whole family dinner. And I was like, what are you up to? And he was telling me about VV and like comics and stuff not even on Cardano. And then I was like, I kind of blew my mind. And he was talking about NFTs. And I was like, this is a podcast. We should do this. And I was like, sure, we'll actually do a podcast. No big deal. And then I was like, no, let's do this. And he was like, Yeah, I'm in. So our goal was 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So we're going to do 8 episodes, and we kind of fell into Cardano because of some of our other peeps. We have like 2 other guys we call us the 4 horsemen, and they're never
We don't
really
call ourselves that.
Yes, we do.
It's a group chat, just like you guys kind of started, but he calls them the 4 horsemen. We are not called that.
We have a similar issue. I call us the Tom's Trio, but they just won't respect it.
Yeah.
We are not called that.
It's been like 8 months and trying to get it to stick. They're stubborn, but so am I. And like it just out of that chat, it was like, man, it's a podcast. So once we kind of got started minting things and messing up and throwing our money into the void at times, I did that. It kind of kept on growing, and I don't know, man. The community is pretty amazing. Like nothing else really exists like this, and I don't know. We kept on going, and here we are. Ryan, I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff, but
no, we went for 8 episodes, and we just dropped number 50. So we hit
I should probably say
a
that.
big
That's
milestone.
awesome.
for us.
Congrats, guys.
That's
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
And I think in 4 or 5 weeks we're officially 1 year. So
Nice.
we're getting there. Yeah, we're hitting our marks. So
Yeah.
Dude. So you guys have been in this space, like you said, you could be considered coming up into like at least the NFT space. I'd consider more on the OG side, getting into it. When do you guys remember the first like month, or who minted the first Cardano NFT for you guys? And do you remember what it was? If you do,
what?
Yeah. Wait, was it?
I think I did Crypto Dino was my first
Crypto
one,
Dino,
and then
okay.
Cardano Tree was I bought off secondary right after.
So
it's
you were,
like those,
so like in August, you were doing stuff last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was right because I'd started with VV in the beginning of August, and then at the end of August, our buddy's like, "Hey, Cardano's got NFTs too," because we are kind of dabbling in the ETH. And we're like, "Well, what the hell? Why are we? All our crypto we were buying was Cardano, so we're like, let's go over to do NFTs there." So
I'm gonna throw this out there just for everybody listening, because sometimes this either infuriates people or they love it. Cardano.
I know.
Not the
Oh,
Dono.
man.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there because if I'm a listener right now, I'm like, they're saying Cardano, dude.
I
It's
always say
Cardano.
Cardano with Cardano. I know.
No, I'm just saying. I'm curious if that's like, because you guys
We argue about it.
Is that a Canadian thing, or is that just the pronunciation of how you guys did it?
It's Cardano.
Is it Cardano?
I just assumed it's kind of a Canadian, like regional thing. Yeah.
We'll go
So
with
it's
that.
Cardano?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said 12.
Cardano.
We'll go with that because you said grade 12.
Yeah.
Or that's
Oh,
12th
yeah.
grade down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like grade 12.
I'm like, oh, wait.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
senior year.
Technically how it's spelled, it would be pronounced how they're saying, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
they do a lot right. They
I
do a
always
lot.
see that inside the Cardano. I'm going to say Cardano now.
I'm gonna say it.
A lot of that makes sense, TJ. Wait till you see how like Celsius works compared to
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
It's so much easier.
Oh, man.
Water freezes at 0. I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Yeah, right.
Say what?
We have 32 Fahrenheit. Why? That's stupid.
And then what, like 220 is boiling or something Fahrenheit? Yeah, none of it makes sense.
You guys came here for the weather tonight.
Yeah, sorry guys.
We gotta have a little
But-
science.
Our Canadians
Yeah.
show
You
it.
get one
Yeah.
fact every episode now, right?
Hey,
We did it last week.
Yeah.
There'll be
technically,
a quiz at the end. And I was going to give away his one of one.
guys, we're approaching. What was it? The Freedom 55 over in Canada. We're just to play
Yes,
off that these
that's
days,
right,
right?
yeah.
We're gonna be the
Yeah,
Freedom
that's
55ers. That's such a wild realization. Like learning there was a joke inside of a joke about that over on your podcast.
That was a real thing. Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I always thought that's what it was kind of in reference to, but then because I don't watch Trailer
Yeah.
Park Boys, so I didn't even know. I had no clue.
Dude, that's such a wild. Yeah, if anybody's wondering what the hell that even means, like Freedom 35ers is a Trailer Park Boys reference, which they are up in Canada, right? Tom's the Trailer Park
Yeah.
boy. I don't.
Yeah. They're in Nova Scotia.
But I mean, I just always took it as that was something from the show. I didn't know there was that whole extra layer where they were actually also making fun of a real thing in Canada, which is like the Freedom 55 retirement plan. I just thought that
there's
was
all
a
these
dumb name
hokey
that they came up
commercials.
with. Yeah, that's hilarious.
And
I
it's
wonder
like
if-
Freedom 55. You know,
I wonder if that's like the
retire.
JP Morgan. It's like my money, we need it now. Like over here in the US.
Probably
like,
was.
Yeah, some one of those commercials. But yeah, great to hear stuff like that. So you guys are coming up into a year for your podcast. It's absolutely amazing. 50 episodes. We're trailing, like you said, we're at 43 technically for the OGs over on our side. So, dude, it's crazy to think about. Like I never in our right mind, I don't think thought we would be doing this right now at this time, at least even when we got started doing this. So I can only imagine for you guys only setting up an 8 episode, run. And then here you guys are at 50. Like, how do you guys feel right now?
Oh yeah, Ryan, you got it.
Go ahead, buddy.
I'll tell you how I feel. I feel like, what the fuck? How are we doing this? Like before I came on the episode, I called Ryan. I was going for a walk. I needed to clear my head, and I was like, how the hell are we doing this? Because I don't give a shit how this sounds. We look at you guys like we're like you're like the older, cooler cousin or whatever. You know what I mean?
You guys set the standard in a sense.
You guys set, yeah, we totally do. When Ryan first discovered you guys, we're like, holy shit, there's these guys. And like we're looking at your content, and we're like, holy shit, this fucking Tommy guy. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, but there's like 3 Tommies. And I was like, what? And like, and I thought Ryan was fucking with me, but you guys really, we look at the way you guys have set things up, the content, the dedication. How do you coordinate 3 people together for 46 fucking weeks? Like, or whatever it is, like it's madness. Like,
yeah,
you know, so how do we feel? We feel like kind of honored to be part of the community. I'm so happy we kept doing this because like without the podcast, it's like what would I know about Cardano and crypto as a whole? You know what I mean? And it just feels like, it also feels a little bit weird because we kind of thought like, holy shit, we're so excited. All these things are happening. We're telling everyone we know. We go to a party. Someone's like, so what is crypto? We're explaining to drunk people. And then we kind of just thought like everyone would start getting it. And it's August of 2022. And I still feel the same. Like I can go to any one of my friends and they have no idea what it is. And I'm like, bro, it's been 8 months. We've dropped 50 episodes. Like, how do you still not know what's going on? You know, so it's kind of, I feel like we're alone in this ecosystem, but the ecosystem's healthy and it nourishes us. But like the rest of the world just has no idea what's going on.
Dude. Yeah, that's actually crazy. First off, we really appreciate that. I mean, I don't know that we are setting any kind of standard. I think we were kind of like the first ones out there, but I know we hold ourselves to a high standard for what we're doing. We're always just trying to improve whatever it is that we're doing. So we really appreciate that. And but I love the fact that what you guys are doing. Like you said, you guys are starting to. It's cool to see your evolution now too, because you guys have started off in the audio format, and now you guys have got backgrounds over here setting up. I've seen some YouTube content coming out. You guys are in like a collective and some Twitter Spaces and things like that. So it's really cool to see you guys grow as well, and I think we need this more inside this space, right? We don't want to be the only guys out here just talking podcasts out here. Eventually, like it's got to grow, and as long as there's some entertaining people out there doing it, and I think you guys are definitely entertaining and doing it in your own way. So it's dope that we get a chance to collab over here and finally get a chance to sit down and do this
for sure.
And I appreciate how you plugged us properly. You were like, you guys are in Spaces. You've got a sponsor, the NFT crypto marketplace and the collective. Like, thank you for saying the actual things that we're doing while I just talked about other stuff.
No, dude, bro. Hey, I'm here to plug you guys. You're our guest tonight. We get to feature you guys a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
I do like. I appreciate the blue background because that'd be an easy color to key out for some editing. We could put whatever we want as your background now.
Yeah. Feel free to drop a rocket ship.
Just flying back and forth. We'll see if Gordon's. We got Gordon. Gordon will put some. I don't know if he's got that in the budget this week. Gordon, he's real cheesy
with that.
We asked for some beeps last week, and Gordon got a couple of them snuck in there, and he let a few sneak through. It's just you never know what he's doing back there behind the scenes. But hey, I hear him and Tom are pretty tight, so we'll get a good plug in for Gordon for you guys this week.
There you go. Do your worst,
or
best.
Do your worst.
Well, dude, outside of that, there's a lot. We're talking CNFTs, right? You guys do a lot more than just Cardano, but I know you guys do focus some stuff over there as well. So we wanted to kind of get into our first topic of the night of CNFT projects that we're into right now. And the reason being, and we can kind of go roundtable this stuff a little bit, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot that has minted. We're in kind of this bear market, I feel like right now. And you see a lot of people stop minting every single project at this point, and they're really kind of being very selective about what they're getting into. And then people are also rolling some profits of stuff they had back in the day that may have taken off a little bit, and that they're putting them back into projects they want to be more in long-term, or be that they're big in that community. I want to kind of kick it to you guys first. Are any projects that you guys are just been really excited, you've been getting into a little bit more, have been stacking up on, like in the Cardano world?
Devon, you want to go, or you want me to do?
I think Ryan's the one for this. Like I was kind of alluded earlier on, like I want to talk about kind of how it feels to be. I've definitely been one of the people that have recoiled. I've actually sold off a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. One thing I'm pissed I sold. I'll probably mention that later. But yeah, I've actually kind of gone into this just buying ADA, and actually aping into less and less. Like I haven't minted in a while. Actually, I guess my only mint is like from our podcast purse, you know. That's actually where the most action for me comes from. Ryan's still doing his thing and doing. I'm proud of this guy, but yeah, Ryan, you can talk about your own shit, I guess.
Well, I missed Jelly. I missed.
Wait, what?
You missed Jelly?
Yikes.
We'll talk positive first. So we had, earlier in the year, I think we had flipped together. We did from our podcast purse, we did Ugly Bros.
Mm-hmm.
I just flipped it.
Purse. I love it.
Yeah. It's a man
podcast.
It's a satchel.
It's a satchel.
I was gonna say, ours is a treasure chest, so.
I've been letting you call it a purse. I just didn't think anything of it.
Never corrected me on that.
Nope. I just let you go with it. So I just went with
podcast purse.
Yeah, there you go. But anyways, yeah, I've been minting, I've been picking up a lot of Ugly Bros lately. I just love the artwork, and you know what, meeting Serge in real life and like getting to know him, he's actually a pretty fucking solid dude. He's putting in work for the seat. Like, we went to a conference here in Toronto, and just watching him onboard people into Cardano, I was like, this guy's putting in work. So you know what, I respect the hustle from Serge there over at Ugly Bros. And then what other projects? Old Money. I've been trying to figure out what the hell is going on over there. So I minted. Well, I gave a fuck to Hoodro Wilson over there.
Yeah,
we got a whole bunch of Hoodros on this show.
Yep.
Dude, we don't know who Hoodro is, man. He just shows up. We were supposed to talk to him on Monday, and then we had his
sound like an aide or something. Yeah,
Newton
that
Baker.
was hilarious.
No, Secretary of War. I don't know who he had coming.
I was laughing my ass off, man. He was talking so much shit.
Dude, he's not a fan of Hoodro, you know. If he is, I have no idea. He said he wasn't feeding him very well. He hasn't been getting sleep. The white screen computer monitor is his only like light source and heat where he is. So.
We set up a GoFundMe afterwards after the live stream. We set up a GoFundMe. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
dude. But no, yeah, so you've been investing back into some projects. So you said Mallet Order. You said Jellycubes
is what I missed. I missed.
You
want to get into Jelly?
That's a little painful over there.
We can do it.
What happened, guys? What are you guys talking about?
So
you were whitelisted, right?
So here's my.
I just want to double check.
I'm going to defend myself. When did they mint? End of July, right?
They were the second to last weekend. I think it was the 23rd, maybe, of July. It was a Saturday.
I won the giveaway in F35 Discord. I checked back June 23rd.
Yeah.
I know I joined the Discord. And then when I was cleaning up my Discord servers, a couple weeks later, I'm like, what the fuck am I in this Discord for? And I'm looking through everything. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, okay, let's clear it.
Oh no.
And then
by that he means, what the fuck is the Jellycubes, not F35 versus
Oh no, the block. Yeah, sorry.
The way you said it, I was just like,
it was the block Discord, right?
Yeah.
I just remember seeing it was the block.
Yeah, it was the block and the big and their block investment group. So you most likely were in it, and he had given you the whitelist role. So you had been in there, and then when you had left, obviously that got all wiped away.
Yep.
I remember messaging you and being like, because you were like, "Yo, how do I mint one of these?" And I'm like, I went back and I'm like, "Wait, dude, we gave you a whitelist. What do you mean? How do you mint one of these?" And then I remember messaging you on the side, and you were just like, "Dude, I'm driving or something right now. Do you think I could still get in?" And I'm like, "Go join right now," and then shoot him a message. He's like, I can't make it. And I'm like, and at the time I was like, it's okay. They're 208 a mint. They may go up to like 400. And then, you might be able to get back in a little bit, but no, it went the other way on this one.
I just watched it while wiping tears. I kept refreshing JPEG store.
It jumped up to like a 12. At one point they were up to like, I don't know what they're like a 15 to 1800 like floor, something crazy like that.
Something.
But to be fair, I sold too early on that. Honestly, like I didn't make it to that 1,000 floor. I didn't even make it to 500 floor. I saw 440, sold it.
Wow.
Did not think it was going to run up. So to be fair,
I don't think he even blocked it. He's confident in his project and what he's going to bring out, but I don't think he even expected it to get that high. Like I think that was just
did not expect
that kind of support
high
come out. It was very cool. I think he was even kind of blown away a little bit. I mean, I don't know, but that was just cool to see that response and that many people come out.
It was because it was a small supply too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it like 1,000?
1250.
Yeah. So the artwork was dope, but I just sat on the sidelines just wiping my tears. But tips and tricks. I've now created a folder on Discord and I've titled it Whitelisted. So I throw everything that I win whitelist for. I
like that.
I throw all my servers that I have a whitelist for. So
that's smart.
That's smart.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, now I at least know. I may not know the project because I don't do deep dives like you guys. I've learned that you guys go this way with the deep dives. I go the other way. No,
we're in the shallow end of the pool, guys. We're just in the shallow end drinking.
That's fine though. Sometimes that's an easy way to do it. You don't have any really deep engagement. You just go in there. I like this. Okay, I'm in and out, and then bye, and you're
exactly.
Good.
So I got to look at. I think I got a couple in there now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 6 projects.
There you go.
Now. So
nice.
Got to go research a little bit at one point.
Yeah, I mean it's hard over there. Sometimes, just like I said, keeping up with everything right now, especially in this minting world, dude, it gets. Like the amount of work you got to do even to be like in a whitelist sometimes is like evolved into where we're at right now.
That's why I gave up on Mallet order. I was like, I can't do this. Yeah. I'm like, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. It
was fun watching. It was awesome seeing like everyone, how much engagement they had. But I was like, this ain't for me. And I backed out after the first, was it the origami duck thing? I was like, forget it. I'm like, I don't got time.
Did you make the duck the original one?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
I think I just tweeted them like a picture of a newspaper pirate hat or something.
No, you did like
you made like a little
like
fortune color.
Yeah, fortune teller. I was like, I do this right. Can I have a whitelist now?
That's hilarious.
And we were just like, I'm just gonna buy an invitation because I can't do this. And then I ended up doing all the challenges even after. And now it's one of the most like involved projects I think I'm in currently at the moment. So it's funny how everything now is a pass. Like it feels like there's some sort of whitelist pass to get in that holds a high floor that runs up until the mint date hits, and then that seems like a good buying strategy. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, dude, it's interesting. Like Tom or TJ, for you guys, I know we didn't get full roundtable on this. Are there any projects that you guys have been like getting back into, or just kind of been really excited for recently, or are you guys kind of stacking ADA like Devon?
Just waiting for Yummy. You've been looking at always. It's always doing something. They always got something coming up. So now that the seasons are done, kind of regrouping and grabbing some stuff that are people flip now.
Yeah, it's crazy how the hype goes, like what, boom, 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 and everybody's like buying real high, and then a new project comes out, and it's like, all right, we forget about this for right now, and then we go, and then you can pick up some good deals right after that. So, and TJ, what about you, man?
I think I'm gonna probably try and flip into a Kong. I mean, I really do want one. I want one bad. I might try to flip my way in to get a Kong.
Dude, I'm with you on that. I feel like this Friday hits. I get the little payday, and my dollar cost average comes back in. But I think that ADA may get spent going into a Kong this week. I've been flipping. I got like half of it right now. Half the ADA I need. I just need to get the other half. So trying to flip some stuff around. But I think Kongs are kind of my next play up. I like to get 2 because one of them I would sell on the run up to the Magic, 100%. And the second one I would keep and hold on for the Magic Kong.
How much more do you need for the Kong?
I mean, technically the floor, last I checked, there were like 2,600 ADA for those. And I think right now I'm sitting on like 1,500 that I can spend. But there's Raccoon Syndicate coming up this week.
Like 1,100?
Yeah. Something. Why? What are you looking to sell or buy?
Floor is a 20.
Oh, you want the overexposed for 1,100? You can get you can get the other one of one right now for 1997 ADA.
Which one?
Really? Yes, the pizza, the flat.
I like the pizza one.
I like the pizza one too. The little guy
right behind there. Just like a pizza face from all that.
Yeah.
They've taken a bit of a hit, overexposed.
They've taken a huge hit, not just a little hit.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, why do you think that happened? Like, what's the deal? Was it just because of the mint, like how it went? Like, what happened?
They, to me, like from the way I look at it is that it was so hyped. Like I was even overhyped for what they couldn't sustain the hype that it was in there. And mainly for the fact that the artwork was so good. And I think that's the one thing that obviously that's what's holding it together right now is the fact that Ren has killed that artwork and really had it's some of the top tier stuff inside this space. And I think everybody automatically associated, well, with that amazing artwork, there's going to come this amazing utility. Like these guys are just going to be the top tier thing. And I think, they originally were an art project. I don't think they were really looking for like utility side of that originally. And I think what ended up happening is they got so hyped and built that they sold out. They did amazing. The floor price was like 1,200, right, 1,500 right off rip, and then it kind of slowly trickled its way down. And then once that black paper came out, that they did that amazing like 10-minute video, which I thought was it was
really
so
cool way of doing it. Yeah,
yeah.
Really cool.
But the fact that the mechanisms, I think everybody was just like, well, because it was at one point it was like your mechanism is like not even like a whitelist spot to the future collection.
It does nothing for you.
There was like, oh, there's only 100 of them. There was only 100 of those mechs on a raffle chance. So people were upset about that. So there was like no immediate value, like people perceived in that immediate value of the mechs other than it being art. So people wanted that. And then the Genesis tokens where everybody wanted the whitelist spots for future collections. So everybody was like, oh, this is just meant for the Genesis holders. what are the mech holders going to get? So they've gone through a whole transition period too. I think they've got now a new community manager with Alyssa from CNFT News. Even the team had to take a little bit of a break. It was like too mentally stressful on them. And I know friends working on like the Genesis like 1.5 collection right now. They have these caches that are coming out for Genesis holders, and then they eventually are going to have this source key puzzle for the mechanisms themselves. And then eventually down the line in 2023, they're going to do the music room, the instruments and stuff like that.
Right.
So they got a lot in the works. I just think in the short, that's why I think right now, not financial advice, but I think if you are looking to stack and you have ADA, it might not be bad buying a few of the mechs off the floor at 100 ADA to
They're
see
90 now.
Are you serious? I haven't checked because I didn't even think about it. Is that what the floor is?
Yeah, they're
all right.
down.
I'd like to change my answer from earlier on because actually I thought about it and I was like, yeah, Ugly Bros, I'll probably buy a fuck just because. And maybe I'll pick up an OE.
You can get some cool, you can get some cool ones out there. So I definitely see potential for the project long term. It's just a matter of I think people wanted that immediate. That's the immediate utility. Where you take something like a Jellycubes, where the artwork, not to say it's bad or anything like that, but it was definitely not on like the intense level of overexposed.
No.
But the utility that was brought with that, obviously that perceived value, that was a perfect combination right there.
But honestly, I mean, it felt like you hear it a lot with a lot of projects that are meant to say, hey, I'm an artist, or we make music, or we make, we've talked to some, we make movies, and we've just seen that the blockchain is a viable way to kind of release or whatever, whatever this media is that they create. And they come to Cardano because they enjoy the fees and the prices and the community and feel that they can get that support. And it almost felt like that. It seemed like Ren, was a talented artist and had like the skills to put a project together. So it was like, hey, we can you can take your art and actually have like a market possibly to sell it in NFTs. So we can do this on Cardano. And then came over and they ended up, like you said, Tommy, just getting crazy amounts of hype because those passes took off. Those the cameras, the Genesis passes. And that was kind of one of the early ones that we saw before this new run of passes was kind of become a thing now, where it really took off and the floor took off and everyone kind of started getting hyped. Like, what is this? It's got this cool like photography angle. And they came out and everyone was still excited. These look actually great. And then it kind of got more and it was just like, oh, this is, like it was really kind of just a place to sell his art, which was not a problem. We've talked about that a lot, where Cardano and blockchains have that option for artists and independent artists to come over to. But yeah, that's good to hear though too, Tom. I haven't been keeping up on it. So hearing they got some new community managers that are maybe more familiar with like the Cardano side of projects, they can get in there and kind of redirect that and get that utility with the community they've already kind of built up and the holders they have. That could actually work out really well.
They got Twitter spaces going now. They have like their overexposed, like their Mech Mondays they always do on Twitter. So they're being more engaged and they're here, they're listening. And that's why I think they're building something for eventually down the line that, it'll all work out for them. And I wish them the best. It's just something I didn't even think about that, Tom. It's a good point you bring up because we always talk about Mallard, which they've innovated in their own right with those invitation letters. But that Genesis token was kind of like that first like big like pass that really got people going.
Probably wasn't the first. Yeah, maybe
no, it wasn't the first at all.
But it was like the big mainstream one. Like it was the one the whole community everyone kind of had heard about it. They'd seen it on CNFT, the stores. They've seen it on the Twitter and stuff. People reposting the like big sales. Like it definitely took off in its own way, and they were cool. I liked them. They still
what's funny about that? I fucked that mint up too.
Did you get into Discord early? And do you have the 3 millimeter roll?
I was a tree of life in Nomies. I had that roll that mint, and that automatically got me the 35 millimeter roll. And I missed the mint by 7 minutes because of fucking time zones.
What's UTC, boys? Like
I've before, UTC,
what is that? That's a 4 hour difference. That's all I know.
Yeah.
5 hours depending on when you
what time daylight
fall
savings?
back.
That's a quick Google search for me.
It's brutal, but I screwed that mint up as well. So
Ryan, you're missing out on some ADA.
Zip and rip, buddy.
Hey, we hold on that one. Tom, you slept like 4 hours through the
I guess
bunny mint.
I guess I got a mint to actually zip and rip, right? So
yes.
I need a new rule. Just rip.
Just rip and rip.
Just send her.
Put an F in the chat for Ryan.
No zip, just Z's.
Yeah,
there you go.
Perfect. I like that one. But
dude, no, I was gonna say it's crazy to hear like what everybody's kind of got their hands in right now, because it changes on a daily for everybody. But I kind of like to hear like, all right, I'm going into this project, or I'm reinvesting back into a project that I really liked and kind of doubling down into it a little more. Or like Devon, you're at just being liquid right now is great in this market, because there's so much stuff. And like you said, there's so many deals out there. If you've been stacking ADA up since Overexposed started and you really like the project, but we're priced out at the 1,000 floor, imagine now you can buy 10 of them.
I literally am kind of blown away. I did not know it dropped down to like the floor is 90.
I just looked at the Genesis token. The Genesis is
like
only
519,
I think is the floor right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that to me though, even if I'm not a fan of Overexposed and I'm looking on the outside in, like my mind tells me that team's building right now. I'm looking at them like, dude, there's an opportunity there for people who I honestly considered with that Kong money buying the second one of one that's on sale for $19.97, just doubling down and then pulling both my listing off there and then waiting for something to happen.
I don't want to hear that you have 2 1-of-1s out of 2. I don't want to hear it. Do not buy that, please.
So
somebody's gonna go make that sale after listening to this podcast before I do it.
Jeff is still attached to the team though, right? Or is he
correct.
He's one of the founders. Yeah, he's
not going.
He's not going anywhere.
I think they have a lot of, like I said, we've been talking about Overexposed. I wasn't even planning to go this far into it. But no, it's good because we've been meeting. We haven't really addressed it too much, other than the fact that Tommy has a 1-of-1 and just make fun of him because he didn't sell it when he should have sold it. And now he can't sell it. I literally have had it listed for 2,500 ADA because I was trying to get a little liquid for, like I said, I wanted to flip into a Kong to make some stuff later.
You listed it for free one time. It didn't sell.
Nobody, no,
that's not claimed
real.
it.
That's not real.
I was like,
that's not real.
I'm like, that's like the errors you make in September, back in the early NFT days doing weird shit.
For sure.
Have you guys seen recently the whole decimal point
we were using commas instead of
well, dude, there was. Oh, are you talking?
He's talking about the old money thing. You're talking about
Comagate. Yeah,
Comagate. You're talking about JPEG, right?
I'm talking about JPEG, where people have something listed for say 9,000. They have it up for 9,000 ADA, and somebody offers or just 9,999, and they offer 999.99 to make it appear like it look. If somebody's just caught slipping and not paying attention, and they hit accept on their thing.
Listen, I got 2 thoughts on that. I did that to a friend prior before it was popular, just as a joke. I did it to Saran's thing he had. He listed for like 599. I did 5.99 just as a joke, just to catch him slipping. As a joke. This was like 2 months ago. But my thought is like, obviously, if it happened to me, I'd be very pissed if I didn't catch it. But at the same time, pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
There's no way to combat that. There's no way for them to
you can't. You have to sign. You literally have to confirm it. Like
you have to take the second.
You have to take 2 looks.
Well, and jpg store is pretty good. Like if you list something that's really cheap and it'll kind of detect floor. Like, hey, this is so far below the floor. Are you sure you got that in right? So it even does that pretty well. But in that case, like, are they going to be like, hey, are you stupid and didn't read how much they were sending you? Like, you need to double check how much money that said.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not. It's like, hey, man, like you read the offer. Like, hey, you have an offer. Here it is. Oh, you accepted it. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want us to do?
And my other logic to that is that why would somebody offer you the exact amount that you want to buy it for?
Yeah, you have to be sneaky about it. I would hope if they got it for $5.99, you got to do 5.98 at least. Like
people are doing like 5.99. It's like, wait, shouldn't that just be bought then at that point? Like, people don't put.
So did your buddy take it?
No, I did it to his lobster claws he had literally 2 months ago. He had it for $699. I did it for $6.99. Yeah, his 89. Just to joke around with him. It was a friend. I did it to him.
Did you talk to him? He was just like, yo,
I texted him. I was like, damn, bro, you didn't want to accept my $6.99?
That's a sneak attack that people have been watching out for. And I've seen people like trying to rally to JPEG store. Like, can you take away the decimal thing? And like, do we really need these? What value do they bring? And it's like,
I mean, I guess
okay,
if it
that is a
happened to me,
solution,
I'd
I
be
guess
mad.
that would work. Yeah, why do we need a decimal right now?
Go back to
Especially with
how
the
it
price
was.
Especially with the price of ADA currently. I don't think anyone needs like a half an ADA, so let's just get it like rounded up.
Well,
come on now.
So I remember that was back in the CNFT.io days when there was no smart contracts. When you would log on to CNFT.io and you had 20, you would send your ADA to that guy, and then you'd wait for
24 hours
and see if they sent it back. So even if you found a great deal, the guy had just had like, oh, you know what? The floor is actually moving right now. I'm completely cancel that right now. Screw that guy. But so people would be like, look, if I really want to sell right now, I'm trying to, and they will send you the NFT back quickly. They would do the little decimal behind their thing to show that, hey, I'm a NFT seller willing to sell like right away. Like that was like what it was code for back then. So I think you see that now and why people do that. But
sure, that's not strong enough, so they could just get rid of it.
Nowadays we have smart contracts, so you can get rid of that.
Yeah,
dude is wild. But yeah, so that was something that people were just getting sneak attacked on. But we were talking too. I guess we were breaking into projects that we're looking at right now. But this is a project that we actually mentioned when we first got onto your podcast a few months back. Was Derp.
Yes.
Derp has dude, they've been going on an insane run. I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance, and we kind of mentioned it to you right before we jumped on the stream, but have you guys been paying any attention to Derp lately?
Not me. I ended up selling off all my stuff. I got what was it? The drapes. I got a couple of those. I had a couple of derplings, and I just like, you know what? I can't be in all these projects, so I kind of just liquidated. I just got rid of everything.
Yeah, no. Absolutely.
So I haven't gone back. I left the Discord because I was like, it's like leaving an ex-girlfriend. I'm not going to keep going back. I'm not going to keep going.
You just ghosted
everybody off, dude. No NFT, you leave the. I get you. Okay.
I just leave. I left the server. I was like, I don't want to be checking out her socials. I can't be. Yeah. It hurts.
Well, so Derp though, I have always been one.
Looking on the outside as it raining, crying.
That's another one of my. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're cool. Pretty happy for them all the shit they're doing.
I remember last year when the three of us talked about it when we were doing the incubator, and I know you guys had talked about this as well about needing the egg. Well, they had that multi-sig tech even back then, and I want to say maybe like November-ish or something like that last year. So it's come a long way, and these guys were kind of the first movers in that space for that. So we were always like, look, these guys have amazing like a tech team. They've helped like Cornucopias, they helped Cardopoly do their stuff.
Yeah, they helped a bunch of projects. I remember that now.
So these guys are very like talented. So it was always like the Derp art, whether you like it or not. I'd be fully transparent. I did not like it the first time I saw it. I thought it was dumb.
Agreed.
I didn't mint it when it was on CNFT back in the day because I thought it looked dumb and I thought it was just like a rogue project and not knowing anything about. But not like first initial impression. That was just the way I saw it.
You thought it looked derpy.
Dude, definitely like Derp. I didn't even know Derp was
we loved it from the jump. We liked it, and we minted it. It was one of the early things I minted, but like, I didn't do much with it. But I don't know.
Sat on it forever.
We sat on it forever, and it's shitty because I sold mine just when the Pred stuff came out. Like just after that, I sold, and I was like, whatever. And I was like, I don't care, but I should have paid attention. You know?
Well, the thing everybody always talked about was they did like these different collections, and we saw the drapes where the Derp apes where they like had a random website one day, and then people got so hyped on those that they ended up like I think it took a few days to get the website to work again.
Was it like a week? Didn't they have to like push everything like a week at least?
Because it was all like the multi-sig tech. They were experimenting with it again. So they had the Derp apes that came out. They had the Derplings, which were your your little baby versions of them with the eggs that you had to incubate. And there was always rumblings of like the actual Derp token, like down the line, being able to stake your Derp. And then they had their Pred invasion too, which was essentially like the counterparts, the opposition to the Derp birds in their universe, which I like the Pred artwork so much better than the actual Derps.
Same. Yeah, same here.
Which such a different. So it was cool. Like that's what got me interested back what's going on. But the new thing that just recently happened, we were on our live stream on Monday, and somebody in our chat was just like, "Guys, you need to go check out Derp birds. Their price is going nuts right now." And we're like, "Well, why are they going nuts? Like, what's happening?" And it was literally 178. I think. Yeah, and then it jumped up by the end of the stream. They were up to 224. A 58 a jump in the floor, even just in the like within a matter of an hour.
Completely because of us, though. That's exactly what happened.
Absolutely.
I've decided that. Yep, in my head, that's how it is.
So I got a chance to jump into this last night, and I got my wallet connected over on their website. They have their app.derpers.io where they have this staking mechanism, and I didn't never realize how many derps I ended up getting into, because when the Pred invasion took place, I was buying up derplings and buying up eggs back then, and I completely forgot to mint them all out.
I didn't know I could do my derp apes. That's cool.
Yeah, so I ended up grabbing 2 of the Preds at the time. But it shows you everything that you own from their ecosystem on their staking website when you connect. And then over here, they actually give you like their XP, and it earns you whatever with their derp token per epic, which is roughly translates to about a tenth of whatever XP you have. So if I'm earning 1,400 right now, I get about 140 derp per epic,
which is every 5 days.
How long is the epics?
The epic every 5 days.
Nice. Look. Nice. Okay.
So the interesting thing with that is that they have these achievements and things built into them. So if you have there's so many different ones that go into
masturbating, beta.
Yeah, cold shower, use the incubator 50. Yeah, so there's all these different ones, and they all have. If you look over on the right hand side, depending on if you can see that or not, there's the leveling, there's the XP versions of that stuff, and all that XP will pay you out in derp depending on what you have. So essentially they're paying if you're unlocking some of these achievements, you're getting that derp token. And right now they're not on any decks or anything, and I'm not sure if there's any plans to be on decks. I haven't gone that far into it yet, but you can see all the different achievements that these guys have, and then eventually when you go to stake your things, I went ahead and claimed my my derp finally last night, and I think I got 400 and something derp. But what can you do? What can you do with that derp right now? And they have this this reward where you can either exchange it, or this is the big one that I was telling Tom about beforehand, is this Raffles right now.
That's sick.
So if you have, if you hold 10,
that's freaking awesome.
If you hold 10 of they're just 10 derp right now, you can actually go actively put a raffle ticket in to win a dead pixel currency.
Wow.
Awesome.
So huge win right there.
For sure.
So there's that, right? And they're doing these raffles, and then they have the exchange, which obviously you can see. I claimed my thing, this epic. So whatever, I got 3 whatever left in staking, but it'll tell you. And then so you can actually get boosts by your Discord engagement and your Twitter stuff, which actually pay you back out in derp as well, which is actually pretty crazy.
Pretty derp.
Yeah, this is pretty nuts. They got a good they got a good thread on Twitter that talks about some of this stuff. That's how I looked, and I was like, holy shit, what have I been missing? But let's just think about how they've look at the technology here. I mean, they have just pulled it all together, man. I'm kind of damn, I should have kept that one, right? But
I just bought my first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tom,
just right now, really.
Yesterday, yeah. I just bought it scarce.
Yeah, but yeah, man, being able to stake without actually locking up the derp,
non-custodial. We learned that word on one of them.
That's pretty cool.
Gord come in on that one.
And okay, so going back to earlier on, you were talking about the community and how they're they helped in other projects.
Yeah,
I was reading through some of the comments, and they were like, hey, if other projects want to know about how to actually use this tech, send them our way. They're like, yeah, we're down to help you guys do the same thing. And I was like, okay, these guys. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe this is a good use of it, but I don't know. I feel like, Ryan, this would be one for the purse, for the podcast purse. Let's buy some more derps and
sure. Get them in there. I like it's just another version of community engagement, right? It's kind of the new that's crazy what you can do. I didn't even realize.
It's so good, man.
I've been kind of sleeping on them. I've always known they've got some stuff in the works, but just one of those ones where but you're not actively paying attention at the time. And then all of a sudden you see this come out, and it's just whoa, this kind of blew my mind a little bit about how much depth there is behind this. And so if you do own any derp, anything at all, whether it be the eggs or any of that stuff, I think the only current way to get the pred, which is we talked about, you used to be able to turn in your derpling and the derp egg, and then that could convert to the invade, as they called it, to get the pred down. And I think that's why the floor jumped on the actual derpers, because I think, according to somebody in our Discord, I have to double check that, but it was, you only can turn in now a derp bird and I want to say an egg. Derp bird and an egg.
When I was trying to get the pred, it was because I had an original unincubated or whatever, the original derp bird, and I needed another derp. I think I needed 2 or whatever.
You needed an egg, if I remember correctly. You needed an egg. You had missed all the incubation period and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, I was gonna buy one, and I was like, I got pissed and I sold it. That's what happened. I was like, you know what? I don't need this. But yeah, I kind of, maybe in hindsight, I probably should have just stuck it out because it was
The
pretty
whole,
cool.
I don't want to jump off top. The whole staking, all this have you guys looked into Cardano lands at all?
I have not looked into Cardano lands.
Okay, we can get into that another time. But like they're taking on, so they're doing staking the same kind of way where you don't have to lock up everything, but you can stake other projects in their ecosystem.
Right.
So like say, so I have like, I think, and they there's a whole voting, again, I don't do deep dives, but there's a whole voting mechanism behind it.
Yeah.
So I think 1,000 votes is like 22 ADA.
Okay.
But you need 200, a project needs 250,000 votes to get locked up for good. And then they have I think it's every 15 days, they've got a top 10 as well.
Are you talking about the Mutant website, Mutants?
No, let me pull it. Let me see here.
There's something similar, I think, with what Mutants doing, and I don't know why it reminded me of the voting aspect of that too, where you can actually stake NFTs to earn their token on their website, or even take older NFTs and be able to convert them into that token to be able to use for future stuff.
Where am I?
Holy shit, that's cool.
It gives utility to a lot of different like I have like what's a couple like Little Lurkers, Crypto Dinos, Crypto Doggies was on the list too, and I was like, oh, I'm earning from just having them in my wallet and connecting.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then cool. It is pretty cool.
Does it have to have partnership already? Like, will it?
You got to be voted in, it sounds like, right?
You get voted into. So projects are getting their, hey, go vote for us on this list. If you get into the top 10 for that 15-day period, I think.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
You can earn some of their ecosystem token.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I know. I love to deep dive into Mutant platform at some point too, because there's a way for like me to come and like, I actually just looked at the date. Today's the official 1 year anniversary, I think, since I bought my first Cardano NFT. So my wallet is, so looking back though at my wallet, I can see like in that time frame, just a bunch of stuff that's just like a graveyard of just like a time warp of just all the stuff that I can't even sell if I wanted to sell it at this point. Yes.
Anyone have a Tribble? Yeah, let's resurrect that.
Yeah. Oh God, those commercials. Dude. But these platforms that are coming out, they're giving ways to basically give some sort of value to anybody who holds stuff even back in the day, whether it may not sell for ADA right now, but they're allowing you to convert it into whatever currency is on their staking platform to be able to use to either buy stuff or actually, just I guess earn whatever that token's value will be over time, but you can convert it to that.
Right.
And what do you think?
With their, like, I'm really curious to see what they develop for the future for that token.
Who? Which one?
Derp.
Oh, Derp. Oh, yeah.
Cool, because I like that. What you showing that achievement board. I just think it's cool. We've been talking about gaming a lot with Cardano. We've had some games on. We've been playing some games. We were playing some Cardopoly.
Yeah.
So just seeing that achievement board, like, it's kind of cool. The idea that, there's a lot of people that play Steam games, play Xbox games, that go for those achievements. Like when I'm sitting there, no life in the game on Steam, so I can 100% it. Nice. Now I can actually get some like cool tokens and actually like make some money or use them for a raffle or something. They're not just like, hey, TJ, you want to come over and look at my Steam achievements? It's really cool. Like, I worked with
absolutely. I would love to.
Now you kind of get a little more
like
value out of it. Yeah.
If you go to Staking Hub, Tommy, and then scroll down, I think this shows you what the top. I think it takes 250,000 votes to get on to permanently be on the list, so that you can stake. But then there's also a top 10 every.
I like how they do that, where it rotates. That's cool.
Yeah,
they kind of let other people get the spotlight for a little bit and keep other communities in. It's smart too.
I know I've seen a couple communities where it's like, hey, we're going to jump into this ecosystem. So kind of, you want to pump your own bag. So it's like, hey, if you want to vote for us, feel free to vote. And once we get into that top list, we can start earning rewards, right? So
that's cool. So I haven't heard of Cardano lands on this. This is a cool little website, like you said, that's dedicated to some of these projects where you can actually stake so you have to stake the NFT associated with the projects. If I own some Zombits and Humbits back from last year that I actually, they've been having a little run, but if I wanted to stake them on here, I could earn this, was it Hexium or something like that?
Hexium I think EXO is their voting token, and then Hexo is their
actual right. I wonder, do we know if they're traded on the DEXs or anything yet?
That I don't know. This is why I'm passing it. passing it on to you guys.
Hey,
the deep
it's
dive,
always
guys.
good. Hey, we're learning. We're going off script. We're going a little bit of live stream kind of style right now.
Yeah, sorry.
No, but it works, dude. This is where the stuff gets fun. But yeah, so Cardano land. That's something we'll definitely. It's a unique aspect of like something new inside this thing where you can stake to earn certain things, which actually is a good little segue into our hyped mint that we're looking forward to this week, which is Raccoon Syndicate. And this is
Trash pandas. Let's go.
Yes, sir. I love the zombies trash pandas,
dude. Well, they're just
right there, right? Oh, dude, man.
So today, Raccoon Syndicate, which is the hold to earn now, which is done by Cardano Ecosystem News, aka Timmy the Cat, and Kiyama, who's a 3D artist for them, which we've had them on our channel. They've been in multiple spaces and all kinds of different things recently on the run up, and they were on Thor's stream today, as it was recording Wednesday.
That's where I was watching.
To check this out though, these they revealed the final the raccoon skin, which they call it the Revenant skin, which is like their take on like the zombie over there, which is the more like the blue style with like the fog eyes. Like it definitely looks dope. I love just the detail they have inside these things.
Love the art on this.
I hope I get a Revenant.
Like the eyes like glassed over. Oh man, they got what the hell's the bat from Walking Dead? I forget what it's called. Lucille.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say that, dude. No. Tom got yelled. Look at Tom's face. He's like,
yeah, you're like, oh, it looks like Lucille. That's cool. And they're like, oh no, it's Charlotte. It's not. What's The Walking Dead? I've never heard of that. And it's like, come on, man, we all know what it is. Like,
those in an office raccoon too.
Yeah, that guy always gets yelled at for that. I got yelled at for the one on Eden 7 too. I was like, man, I love these Goku ones. And they're like, no, you can't say that. I'm like, all right, I guess
that's fine. Yeah,
it's a derivative of
yeah. TJ was saying they have the Office one, right?
Office one. I saw that today.
Where is it? Let's see that one.
I don't have that one up. I'll have to pull that. But yeah, this
TJ helps out here.
You want to hear a reference? A little throwback. What a little throwback, TJ, for Tom for this. I don't know if you guys might get this reference. Do you remember Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I said that. I said that reminds you of the art of Fur Day all the way.
The zombie the raccoons in there. Or
that was a great reference.
So yes, I don't know why that reminds me of those. I went back and looked that up today and got into a weird deep dive of that game.
Just reminiscent. Tommy, a squirrel?
He was he's a squirrel. So that wasn't too far off, but yeah, I don't know why. The eyes and stuff like that and the color of the blue reminds me of that. Yeah. TJ, you got you got that one as well?
Yeah.
You have to send. Oh, the other you're talking about the Office one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. See, my screen share doesn't get murdered on the recorded stuff versus the live stream over here.
Yeah, assistant to golden beats. I want that so bad.
That's so good.
And it's got all
I want it.
Assistant to the regional manager. I love that.
That is great.
That's a good one.
He's got the Dwight Schrute glasses too.
He looks like when Jim dressed up as Dwight.
Yes.
Yeah.
False.
Michael. Identity theft is a serious crime.
Bears. Beats. Battlestar Galactica.
They have a lot of like references and stuff like that. But yeah, so Raccoon Syndicate's minting this Saturday on the Whitelist, the 13th, and then on public on the 14th.
Real quick, Ryan, are you whitelisted? And or don't forget.
I registered. I am whitelisted. I'm
good to go. We talked.
Set an alarm.
Miss this one.
We'll be going. We'll be on here.
Everybody, holy shit, it is happening right now.
Is there's no time announced for this though yet, right? Like no actual time.
Yeah, there is.
8 a.m.
Is it? Okay, I missed it. Okay.
It goes like all day, doesn't it? To like 4 a.m.
Oh, I just saw it now. Okay.
What are the time frames? This is live news for me right now too.
8 a.m. Pacific, I think they announced.
Is that 11 a.m. Eastern?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
3 p.m. UTC.
Don't listen to me for time zones. I don't forget it.
3 p.m. UTC. Let's roll with that one.
All right.
Sure. But yeah, so do this. I'm hoping to get some of these.
11 a.m. for us for
so what time?
End time 5 a.m. the 14th.
Boys, we doing a live stream, man. Anybody want to jump in?
Tell me.
Hey, kudos to you guys on that Mallet Order live stream. I had just some free time and I watched that whole. It was fun to be sitting on the sideline as usual, just watching it. It was fun, man.
Dude, we got some good ones too. Like they all look so good. It would have been like a little less, like a little more anticlimactic if we were just like, oh man.
Yeah,
kind of suck.
No, it's fun. I said that's what gets me excited for like moving into the space a little forward, and even just doing like content creation in general, of like evolving just from being on the podcast, like streaming these live events, to being like minting alive with people. And just like you said, it's even seeing what the community gets, because I get the guy Anax Mander over there minted one of the 101s.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And he sold it for 20,000 the same day.
Yep.
Same day.
While we were still like,
I think this is kind of good.
After.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? It's like watching an unboxing experience. You know how like a mystery egg. Like it's for me, it was just like, well, what are they getting? What are they getting? And it's like it's silly kid stuff.
Dude, that's why one day when Yummy card packs come out, we will definitely be having some card packs.
Ada broke.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Yummy broke. You'll be paying on Yummy eventually.
That's true. Yummy broke.
But all right, but we digress. they will go that route, I think. But we're digressing. But back to Raccoon Syndicate over here. These guys are minting, like I said, Saturday, and I think this is probably one of the most hyped up mints of this month. And just even again, we get hype after hype. Mallet Order kind of kicked that off. Journey had some hype built behind it. I think this month is probably the biggest one that I'm aware of. Maybe besides Oreo,
right?
Yeah. So this is one that we definitely will be minting. And I know we're whitelisted. I think we got 4 of them right now. If we confirm that. But
I think you need 6 for the other mint coming up, or the next one.
I think they said, I was just watching it prior to here with them on Thor. I think they said you have to hold 3 of the farmers.
Okay, I thought it was 3. Got it.
Yeah.
Then I thought it was 6. Someone say, okay, cool.
So just to dial back for anybody wondering, there's going to be 10,000 of these things, but this first drop is going to be for 5,000. And there's these farmers versus these hunters. So there's 2,500 each of the farmer and the hunter to make up the 5,000. And those are the first 2 of the syndicates. And there's 6 total of these. So the second drop will have another 2, and then there's what are they're doing?
They're doing 3 drops, so 2 each time.
It's gonna be cleric.
But it's like it goes
cleric and scientist. I was doing math in my head. I'm like, wait, I'm adding up right now. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so it's only need to hold 3.
Scientists, get off.
I think that's what they said. Yeah.
Give me the hunters.
Dude, the hunters,
we're gonna get a Freedom 35 team together here. We do 6 squad. We got some mints here.
So that's what everybody's wondering. Squad. Oh, this is where the perfect
Let's go to war.
Why is squad up?
Dude, we could.
So I don't know. A podcast powerhouse.
So just
I like the name of that.
Podcast powerhouse.
Let's go.
Pretty good. Yeah, well, we're starting something.
We'll be the big PP.
Okay.
This is a powerhouse podcast. Talk about bench pressing and doing squats all day.
Tom, I just thought that we're going on tangents, and Tommy's getting pissed. He's trying to redirect us back to these Raccoon Syndicates.
I know.
Just keep going further and further.
And Brian's like big PP. Like, come on, guys.
So mad.
I'm all for it.
We do have some mints coming up, though. I'm excited for this. Like as a 3 squad here, so we could definitely do the live stream too. I wouldn't mind doing that if we had the time.
Let's do it. Tommy's muted. Thank God. You know, I'm sick of hearing his voice.
I'm not muted. I'm just
always wants to talk.
I was trying to get you.
For sure you were. I was like, oh, he muted himself somehow.
No, that was just
that got me. I was like, what?
Direct the attention back to what we're talking about here. No,
farmers versus hunters.
No, not even that. Just the fact that why we even like this in the first place is that you don't got to do anything. You just got to hold.
No, that's an NFT for me for sure.
The whole point of this, and their big mechanic on this, is to hold to earn instead of play to earn. So these guys are, Timmy was like, dude, I'm getting up there in age right now, and I don't got time to dedicate to all this stuff. I'm putting into other time into what I'm working on. I got other things I'm worrying about. There's other projects. I don't want to do anything. But these guys, every 5 days, passively, they earn you these battle points, which is like the mechanic behind this. And then I guess every 10 epics, rewards are given to the holders based on the amount of battle points that you earn. So you can actually upgrade your NFT too by earning more of the battle points down the line, which is the incentive to hold more of these things, right? So the more battle points you earn, the more stuff you get to be able to upgrade these, the more things that you earn long-term passively. Is kind of the whole draw to this stuff. So for me, like, that's perfect because I don't like selling usually, but I think recently maybe my mindset's changed a little bit on this. But what are your guys' thought on a hold to earn? Or maybe I'll take a shot over at Devon because you're the one that is more skeptical on minting new stuff.
Yeah, I hate being this guy. It's less about the skepticism. It's more so about exactly what they're trying to do here with enticing people to hold and like not have to grind it out or like have to keep track of all the deadlines or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, this is a project for me. It's like, okay, get it, leave it in your wallet, and like, I don't even know if they're going to be airdropping whatever, but like, yeah, you get the coin or token or whatever the heck it is. Yeah. That's perfect. In terms of like, and I think it's more so like the NFT exhaustion that happened in like the December or whatever. like I kind of never fully recovered from that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of started the slow thing, the slow like pull out. Sorry. And damn it.
Oh,
So
you need to be quicker than that.
I know. Yeah. But no, like that makes sense. Jesus Christ. That makes sense to me. This model is what I like. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, yeah, I shouldn't. I even talked to Ryan about this. When we were looking at this project a weekend or whatever, he was like, yeah, like this is the one, right? I got a whitelist. I was like, awesome. And I was like, why? Like another furry animal, but like I love the 3D. And I was like, okay, I think I'm honestly butthurt on this because of Ada Tints.
Like, gotcha.
Yeah, I literally look at this and I'm seeing, it's like ex-girlfriend analogy. It looks like my ex, you know what I mean? I was just like, I didn't even mint it, but I was just mad at that, like, so I was just like, I saw it and I kind of dismissed it right away. And I was like, whatever. And Ryan's like, I don't know, but if I were to buy something, I should buy this. I should actually.
One of the reasons we're pulling a video that we had clipped when we talked to these guys, the artwork, outside of just Timmy being the project creator to this, the Kiyamo, she's the star of the show too over here and what she's building. And I know Twitter compression probably ruins this a little bit.
No, it's all good.
She gives us like the behind the scenes, like literally drawing the shirt and the animation for the 3D, like live on stream with us, kind of like peeled it back. The craziest thing to me is like the technology where it just snaps the shirt together right here. It just literally grabs and wrap. Yeah, boom. Just like
shit.
Yeah, so like just the 3D artwork that she has, and then the physics where you can literally like pick it up and you can see the movement of the actual shirt itself. We were like, the talent she has, and then eventually she got into like the texturing and all this stuff, and it's like it's not obviously it just takes a lot of work to do what she's doing, and it's high quality too. So,
but it already looks amazing. Like, look at this white T-shirt on the racket. Like, this looks amazing, right?
Like he's actually wearing it, which is impressive.
Yeah, wow, that's I gotta go back and watch. I miss it.
And not to yuck your yum here, but like when it comes to development and code, like everything builds on everything. So this is gonna, like, I mean, we're seeing this now because of NFTs, but like this is being pulled from other software. Like this is based in CAD and shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to diminish it. I'm saying that like the fact that she's like utilizing this and doing that, it's actually pretty amazing. But like, I think we're going to get more of this more and more. And I swear NFTs is probably going to make this more popular.
It's going to evolve for sure.
Yeah. Think about, she was, originally I heard the whole reason her and Timmy ever got together in the first place is she created Timmy's 3D model for his cat for the YouTube videos. Cool. And that's how they got together in the first place. And then eventually it led to her being like, yo, you have a real talent here. And she's like, I worked on video games. I've done all kinds of stuff. So that was her profession. So you're finding a professional in this space that's now being introduced to the NFT market. So like you're saying, if you find people coming into the space, it's going to be the people who are the creators in the first place that are wanting to get into the crypto world because there's an opportunity there.
Did they tell you how they landed on Cardano?
It was because Timmy was already inside the Cardano. He was Cardano ecosystem news, so she was making his avatar, and she knew nothing. Literally, she's like, I don't really know, and I don't think she owned an NFT at the time when we had asked her that on stream.
Wow. Holy crap!
Really? So Timmy he obviously guided her into it. But yeah, so she was like completely blind to it, but she's like, I can create this stuff right here, and we'll see what happens with it. And here we are. She's creating this amazing artwork. Timmy's got the relationship and, the mechanics that are built into it on the NFT side. And together they might be a perfect combo over here for this space. So it's definitely
how many whitelists do you have? Oh, sorry, Tom.
Oh, no, you're good. I think we have 4 total for these right there, which they're 110 ADA for the whitelist price, and they're 120 for the public.
120.
And they were saying today, 98% of their supply is for whitelist, so they don't even know.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! How many do you have, Ryan? 2?
Two spots. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, dude. So this is one of those projects though that we'll definitely be taking a look at as we get back this way. So Raccoon Syndicate obviously is definitely something we're looking forward to, and something I'll be aping kind of hard into this weekend. As far as this is even like an investing strategy, I guess I'd call it is I'm whitelisted for 4 spots. I'm going to go ahead and mint all 4 of mine, but I think I'm going to go ahead and probably pick some off the floor as that floor starts to establish itself this weekend and kind of load into that. And that's kind of what I've been doing a little bit recently with most of these projects. I've done it with Jellycubes. I've done it with Beyond Citizens. I've done it with even the Mallet Order recently, is buying up a bunch of these with the stacked ADA that I've had or some of the stuff that I've flipped and buying into these hyped projects. And whether I hold some, I flip some during that run as they continue to grow with the hype and everybody kind of getting into it. And then I hold a couple of them just in case, down the line I want to be in the project, or they continue to moon and I get out of my initial position. So for me, that's how I've been stacking up ADA, which traditionally in I'd say the earlier part of the year, or even in the beginning, I held on to a lot of different things. I waited for the big moon instead of selling for the short-term profit. I'm curious with you guys, and Devon, I know we were talking about this before, and we'll kind of lead it off with you, and I'll go over to you, Brian, and maybe Tom too. What is your current investing NFT strategy right now for getting into some of these different projects? And I know you've been stacking a little bit of ADA. Do you guys have a strategy at all? Have you thought about a strategy? Is that even on your mind, or is this something? Yeah, that's the first question, right? Some people are just I'm just going day to day and seeing how it works, or others playing and you know what, I'm going to make some ADA this month. Here's what I'm going to do it.
So honestly, I love this question. I also hate this question because it's I feel like because of the podcast, because of the people that I know, right? Some of the members of the Four Horsemen, that is 100% what we call ourselves. They've got the investment strategy of they'll sweep the floor. They're on the beat. They're knowing exactly what's going on, and they're selling. They're getting rare. They're basically doing everything you kind of talked about. My strategy is, I think it's dictated by just the way I run my life. I'm the day-to-day kind of guy. I go into certain projects and usually I'm just I like the team. I like some of the utility or whatever. And then I kind of just hang on to it and don't do anything. And I think the only, I feel like I'm really, really much I'm just going to say a holder, whatever.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm really, really hanging on to is I have a bunch of Pavia plots that I'm just comfortable. Maybe people are oh, what's happening? I'll sit with Pavia plots for years. I'm fine. I believe in that. Yeah, I'm committed completely. I know the floor is 200 whatever. It's fine. It's stable. They're still up there. No issues. I got a bunch of those. I literally thought about buying more, and that seems to be the only thing I'm comfortable with because I'm totally that. Just like I mentioned with Raccoon Syndicate, buy it, do nothing, wait. But that being said, I guess in the spring, honestly, it was inspired by you guys, although I thought you guys were on in May, because offline we talked a little bit about some of your strategy and some of the things you're doing, right? Because I know you got a bag and you're sweeping and whatnot. But I'm also you're collecting, but you're also investing, And I was thinking, well, okay, before I do anything, I've got to get the it's a purse. Got to get the purse.
Yeah,
it's not a bag for me. It's a purse. I've got to get the purse fatter, right? So using the bear market, I've been stacking a bit. So I'm at this point. I'm okay, I got a couple, but I might go in. I think we were talking a little bit about this. I feel like my strategy is potentially going to change, but I have to make I have to use a strategy that's going to allow for my inconsistency of not hanging out in the Discord and not checking a million projects. So what I really should be doing is probably using a grand or 1,000 or maybe 2,000 ADA and then hopping into one or two projects, watching that, and then going from there. But will I follow on to that? Unless Ryan's sitting there holding my hand, I guarantee I'll have some horror stories of me forgetting something, leaving something listed, and just being shit.
Well, so come on over Saturday. I'll help you with Raccoon Syndicate.
There you go.
Day party on Saturday. Are you not going to that? No. On the air. Sorry. We're totally off topic.
So Ryan, that's an interesting thing to go about because for me, you kind of just bringing up some topics in my head about even just stuff that I'm evaluating as far as evolving. This space is evolving. Why is my strategy not evolving with it? That should be something that I'm paying attention to because this market is not the same market I started in a year ago at this time. So Ryan, I'm curious to hear what you've got going on.
For me, I'm your everyday ADA poor guy that just watches from the outside. I'm trying to, get that. I want to get to that strategy because that's what it seems like. I'll call it the whale strategy. Is that literally they've got the bag, they sweep a floor, they sweep what they want, and then they just sell it for minor profit if that's the case, or some hold. But I sold off some my Cardano Summit NFTs. I finally was you know what? I'm never going to get into this project because it was so far out of my price range. Whatever they airdrop me, I'm whatever. So I ended up I have a bit of ADA to play with now. So I want to kind of do that. I'm hoping with Raccoon Syndicate, I could mint my 2 that I have and then maybe sweep a couple more and then start building up slowly. Kind of the what you guys talked about in the Discord about the zip and flip, right? Just slowly try and chip away. Who was it? Was it Shiny that had ended up he had a bad bust one time, or something was stolen from him, and then he had to restart his whole.
Yeah, I forget exactly.
Shiny?
Yeah, it was Shiny, I believe. He had something where it was just something that he just zipped and
I can't remember
ripped.
what happened.
He sold a clay plot it was a medium or a large or something like that for the wrong price. Yeah.
Right.
It got instantly swept, so he missed out on a few hundred or maybe 1,000. I don't know what it was.
So I want to, and that's what I love about to promote your guys' Discord. That's what I love about it. It's not, by no means is it financial advice, but to sit there and watch like a collective group, basically like what me and Devon have with our friends in the group chat. It's basically a group of friends figuring out this whole space together and watching I'm on the sideline all the time, but watching you guys do something. So now I have ADA. So now I'm like, well, let me try and mimic what I've learned and just do it on a smaller scale until I have that bag to be able to do it on a grander scale.
To give Ryan more credit, he does play with some ETH projects too. And I think you've been doing a lot better over there, not just because of some injections you've had with some ETH projects you're involved with. Your purse has been you had more to play with, so you've kind of been able to do it. You've just been able to build it out. He sprayed. So I think it's not just you're divided there. But I also forgot to mention, I don't know how, but I guess the other strategy that's kind of, and we only started the podcast purse recently, but we have a couple of things we're holding in there that I'm this will work out for us. Maybe just some clay pitches and whatnot, but so I feel we kind of have 3 areas where we operate, where I do my thing, Ryan does his thing, and then together, if there's something if there's something out of one of our price ranges or whatever, we kind of look at it and we're what do we think here collectively? And we just keep that all balanced 50-50. And if one person's over leveraged or whatever, Ryan's contributed more because he's had some wins, or I have, and he's converted some ETH or whatever, then we just keep track and we settle it out before we sell anything. That way, any sales, we're not doing percentages on stuff like that, because that feels different if we make a bunch of profit and then I'm I kicked in 70, so whatever, and he's like, well, I got the whitelist, it doesn't so that's kind of how we manage that. So that's our hybrid weird poor guy strategy.
No, it works though. Like you said, you guys have got something at least going on between the two. I know we all have our individual wallets that we deal with out there, and we have our F35 wallet, but that's mainly just dedicated to our pocket. We don't really zip and flip on that thing. I think that's something we talked about, and we've actually hey, do we think we maybe want to put something into this project right now because we think it's going to do this? And we've talked about it. We haven't actually executed on that yet. It's mainly been our funding for certain things that we want to officially get into.
Veggie in there.
We got a Vegemite that we minted from a whitelist spot that somebody gave us, right?
Well, I was gonna say, why don't you start doing that? If say you throw one of yourself, throw the podcast a whitelist if you ever kind of receive one, or you guys get an extra one.
Yeah,
that whitelist is my one of one.
Yeah, that's.
I gotta share with these clowns. Come on.
Yeah. Then we sell it immediately, and that is one thing that I've noticed. If you get a one of one right off mint, sell it. Just sell it. Take the ADA
before the reveal.
Before the reveal.
If it has a reveal, it doesn't matter. Even Yummy. I mean, we saw those really Yummies going for $60K to devs and stuff. So.
Sell those things. Yeah.
Do you guys like reveals?
I like them. I think in the right context, I like them. I like how Adenauts did theirs. I like the build up for that. I liked Overexposed. I did enjoy that. Actually, it was fun because it became an event each week. Although the hype and everything, the rest of the project kind of died down a little bit, but during that time frame. But I did like the reveal style for it. It's like I said, it's more inclusive when everybody's a part of it versus just that one where there's the top 10. So I'm a big fan of the reveal style. And then Tom too, real quick for you, I think because you actually been doing a little bit of zippity flips on some stuff too and stacking up your ADA to an extent, right?
Well, I mean, going to what you were saying, Tommy, because you say you were holding for the big flip, but I mean, some of these big flips you were expecting are years down the line. So, I mean, where we're at now, I mean, you're going to have to sell if you want to end up getting into any more projects beyond, unless you're going to put in ADA every paycheck, unless you're going to keep buying ADA, which is not a bad time when it's this cheap, but
dollar cost.
If you're, someone that was in earlier and you're not looking to continuously reinvest all the time, you have to sell. You got to start building that up. Even if it's a project you like or believe in, you can sell them in the short term, make the profit off the hype and the original flip, and go then mint 3 or 4 of the next project that's hyped. And you can easily buy into some of those projects. They're going to correct. It's very rare that a project has zero sort of correction, maybe more than you may have sold it for. But at that point, hopefully you flipped other projects along the way and built that bag up so you can buy back in, and it's not going to just stay at an all-time high. Unless you just completely miss it. It does take a lot of diligence. You got to be paying attention. You got to be following those projects closely that you want to jump back into, because it may have some news where it hits that new all-time high and then does not go back down. But other than that, you got to start selling. You got to build that up. Then you can, like you said, Tommy, mint 3, 4, 5, sell 3 of them, keep 2 of them, and see what happens. Which I've been doing. I mean, we'll see what happens. Some of these, like I know I've kept a couple mallards, I kept a couple 8 of knots. Probably really even looking back at those, as much as I kept them because I liked them, I probably should have just sold them all, and I could have really picked my way through now when things go back down.
Well, you bring up like I'm thinking, like reflecting on, like kind of having like that year moment for myself too, of like now even just the evolving part of my like strategy. I think all of our original strategies, at least I know for the 3 of us, was how can I buy one of these things and then flip it for the max amount of money or the profit that I can get out of it. All of my goal is to stack my ADA bag. I had no attachment to that project. My emotion level was at a 0. Like I did not care at all. And then that NFT portion of the world got a hold of me, and I started to care about the communities and all these different things. So if I can now look at in like tiered levels, because yes, I do. I'm invested in so many different projects, and some of those do have their own bag associated with them if I were to sell. But now that I have a little bit of money to play with, I can kind of look at it in the sense that, yes, I can still hold on to the projects that I believe long term, and those are always going to be my bag that I eventually feel like will increase over the long term for that moonshot down the line. But I can become emotionless in the sense that I feel like you say, I got 1,000 ADA to play with, I got 2,000 ADA to play with. Have that same mentality that I went with a year ago, where I had zero emotion into whatever it was. And if that project was doing a 2-3x right after the mint, immediately sell that thing, no questions asked, and move on to the next. Like evaluate how your strategy really is wanting to line up. Because it's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a few thousand ADA this month, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to mint every single project that I can that's hype. I'm going to sell it right when it hits a 2x or a 3x or a 5x, whenever that may be. I don't even care if it goes up after that. I'm out. I'm emotionless, and I'm moving on to the next thing. So
that was our first plan, 100%. We did that, and then we kind of got hit with that series of like started seeing rug pulls, started seeing projects not sell out, and we started pumping the brakes. And we were, like you said, getting involved in those projects where it's like, well, I don't want to like sell all my yummy. I mean, I could get a little extra ADA right now, but do I really like? Also, how badly then? Also, times how badly do I want this ADA? It just depends on where you're at with what you're trying to buy, how many mints you have coming up. That'll also affect like your selling strategy and whether or not you really get pushed to sell. I'm kind of with you, Devon, where I'm in like I'm clearing out wallets right now. I'm selling old projects that are sitting there doing nothing. If someone wants to give me 10 ADA, I mean, it's in, or I'll send it to Tommy. If no one wants to buy it, just send it to Tommy's big wallet.
The burn wallet, dude. That's a great way to look at things in this market, especially because it can get crazy. The emotion part tears at me. I know very much, where I'm just like, I got to be a part of that project, and maybe it hits a little harder too, being like doing videos on stuff sometimes, and then just being like, I got to hold on to this thing, man, now, because I've talked about them for this week or whatever it is. Now I'm dedicated to that community. If I sell out on them, it's just like, even gifts, like sometimes like where it's like, hey, we gave you a whitelist spot over there. And it's like, well, if you just flip the hell out of that thing, man. It's just, it's just, and that's just the reality of the situation. And I don't know, it's a different, my mindset now is like, I have to diverge, and you've even got me thinking right now, just the certain things that I need to be doing. Maybe reevaluating my strategy a year into it now, because things have obviously changed inside the space. Is my strategy still viable in this time frame right now?
It's interesting. Like when, like Tom was like talking about, or sorry, like wait, where's fucking?
There's no 5 of us.
Oh, where's TJ?
Dude. Or I don't know where wasn't he here just like
researching strategies?
I don't know if he was here tonight. I don't know if I remember him tonight. I don't know if he was here.
Did Gordon just delete him out of the podcast?
I think so.
That's awesome. What I was going to say is it's
4 horsemen, guys. 4 horsemen. Let's go.
Here we are. There it is. Told you. This is the original. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. When Tom, you were talking about like the FUD went up, and then like the whole like just buy it, flip it, whatever, keep it moving, die down because of the rugs. And then so you start getting more value and focusing a little bit more and thinking what's going to last, and then that emotion goes up and you're tied in. But even just thinking about myself, I'm like, all right, well, strategy's changing. I'm building a bag to kind of make a different play here, and it's like now I want to manage my time, because I'm like, September's a busy month for me, and like, you know, August is shot, summer, whatever. But you know, like there's still going to be exciting projects coming out, right? So I think there's cycles that we're not even thinking about yet. Like here, like post CNFTcon, I think the NFT energy is going to be huge. So I think if you're waiting or you're building, I think October, November could be like a really good time for CNFTs, you know? And I've been thinking about it. Like my October's light, and same with November, right? So it's like, maybe you kind of time it to the cycles of what you can actually commit to time-wise too. So I know there's a lot you can do here, but yeah. I don't know, that's my sense.
That's perfect. I like the sentiment behind that. I even think about that, like, right, we're coming fresh off CNFTcon in October, and people are going to be talking to founders there too, right? Like you're going to be talking to the people creating stuff. You may become a little bit more bullish after being out there and saying, you know what, look at this community, look at all this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get into this project right after. So, and for me too, like, I think the strategy is a little different as far as why I'm trying to build an ADA bag right now. First, I mean, I believe in Cardano long term, but if it's not $3 right now, right? If I was sitting on a 5,000-6,000 ADA just chilling in my wallet and it was at $3, that's a lot different in dollar value versus the 50 cents that it's at right now. You know, so
16 Canadians. Yeah,
16 Canadian. There you
Still
go.
The same.
Oh man. Well, that to me is like where my head goes with this kind of stuff right now. Is I'm just kind of in stack mode. I'm in not in a need to cash out right now, and have no plans to cash out, and that's kind of where I'm sitting. So it's definitely interesting where we're at a year later talking about all this stuff. But there's definitely a different. I think it's very important, if anything, to have a strategy to go into this stuff, whether you plan to be long term or just flip or just hold to figure your thing. Because we're in crypto, and I think if you did it on the other side where you weren't in the NFTs and you were actually just investing in crypto, like would you not have a strategy? Would you just go buy, and then hopefully sell when you want? I think everybody it applies the same way over here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You have to be open-minded too to being able to switch it up too.
Yeah. Some
people just get stuck on a strategy. It's like, this is the way. So you got to be a little open-minded and be willing to flow with the space as well.
Oh, for sure. Well, that was a good topic. I'm glad that we got to dive into that, because we don't always go like heavily into we talk about it, but we don't like go in depth, like the mindset, the like psychology behind some of that stuff. So and other like recent news, it was interesting because it's like why we're so engaged in Cardano right now, but others are so, and you mentioned it even earlier. I wanted to kind of tie that back to the beginning of, we've been doing this for a year now, 50 episodes, whatever it is, and we thought people would catch on by now. And clearly they haven't, because we are sitting in this little bubble, it feels like, over on, at least on our Cardano side, but it's in crypto in general. And not other than Mark Cuban got into an interaction with Dean K over in, I forget, from Buffy Bots kind of section, I guess that's how I know him. But I know others know him in different sides of the space. But he got into this Twitter thread because Mark Cuban made the comment over here of, I'll just reload it on me, the comment that Cardano has less apps built on it than Doge has more apps probably built into it than Cardano does. And that just triggered a whole reaction from the Cardano community. But it also was just even the fact that people were just like, do you really, like, you're a big proponent of crypto, right? Like Mark Cuban is. Do you not know what's going on over? And it's like, to us, that seems so foreign, but maybe to others, it's just like, no, dude, like, I don't know what's going on over here at all. I have no clue, and I have no desire to have any clue yet, because they haven't proven anything to me. And sure, so that sparked a huge debate over here where Adam kind of went back and forth over there with them, and eventually it kind of settled. And we'll talk about the World Mobile Token and stuff like that. Can you guys? What are your reactions to the Cuban comment? And did you guys get a chance to look through this?
I ended up tweeting about it because I was just like, here, let me just leave this here and see what people have to say. It's to me, it's like. But Dogecoin just isn't it? It's silly for what he even said. Just like, do your research, right? Everyone always talks about the DYOR. Clearly, he's just got someone in his ear telling him what to do. I don't even know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he should get someone helping him out. But I thought it was just silly to tweet about.
I think it's
or
because
say.
No, I agree. And I like there's a lot. I think there's a lot here, man. First of all, Cuban didn't get where he got from being an idiot. Like, so he knows that anything he says is being listened to. And if you say go advocate for this versus I think this other ridiculous thing is better than this, he knows a bunch of people are gonna be like, yeah, what the fuck? We hate this because everyone loves Doge,
Right.
But then it also brings attention to Cardano. But I think like Cuban, and I'm going more so from the World Mobile kind of debate of things.
Yeah.
Cuban's approaching this from an instigator kind of like, I'm stirring the pot here. And then after I stir the pot, I'm gonna go stir the pot.
Stir the pot, it's fine.
Yeah, stir the pot up in the pot. I'm gonna go Shark Tank style and start being like, what are the revenues? What's this? And that's when he was like, okay. The other part of his comment totally doubles down is like, Doge has more, like, it's all about the applications because like total value locked is about,
right,
how much money's there, but our devs going there and all this shit. And I think he literally is asking like, what kind of revenue is the blockchain making? He's going Shark Tank mode. And from that, you're going to say, okay, yeah, so Doge has more going on. You could, for a while, you could buy your Tesla with Doge. You can do this, you can do that. Like, it's got more going on than Cardano right now. But Mark Cuban's not seeing the potential in Cardano. He sees it, but he's like, hey, there's no revenue, so I'm a businessman, so whatever. And I think he's just ignoring all the future viability. I'll have more to say, but I'll stop for there. And I think he said that literally because deep down, I personally think he believes in it for sure. I guarantee that guy will flip his stance.
Do you remember, this was one of the things that even got me when I first was going into Cardano in the first place. And I love how he types purposely troll. He's definitely trolling you out here because he's calling you 100%. Cardana. He's got Cardana.
Yeah, he put that a lot. I was going to call
Cardana.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So
what? And Cardano's got passionate fans too. I mean, it's got a passionate community.
So he knows that people are just going to like, oh, you spelling it wrong.
Anything that it says anything. I mean, people were talking bad about like Charles Hoskinson, or there was like questioning about like whether he had his degree or where he went to school and stuff. And people like the Cardano community were all over it, like defending him and going, doing all this crazy stuff. It's just like, all right, calm down, guys.
Well, to me, there was actually an interaction between Hoskinson and Cuban last year where before the smart contracts ever got launched. And that's one of the first things that even sparked me looking into Cardano, was because Mark Cuban asked, he goes, well, does Cardano what can they do? They don't even have smart contracts. And then Hoskinson reached back out to him and said, why don't you come by the ranch and we'll have a talk and I'll explain everything to you. Yeah. And Cuban was just like, no, dude, I'm not doing that at all. That's kind of fucking weird or something. And whatever he said to him. And then Hoskinson was just like, all right, fine. Then, if you don't want to come talk, that's fine. But my invite's always open to you, kind of thing. So everybody kind of was trolling now with Cuban too on this, because he's back on the Cardano. Everybody loves to hate. I don't know what it is in Twitter, but everybody just loves to hate on Cardano just in general. But he was basically, what he was saying in this, as far as the arguing, he's like, hey, we got dApps now, we got smart contracts, we have all this stuff. And he's like, I understand you guys got that, but on ETH, those were innovations at the time. He goes, those brought new people into crypto. Imitating them on Cardano isn't covering new ground, it's checking boxes. So he's looking, and from his mind, he's like, what is the innovation on this side, which sparked the world mobile conversation over here. He goes, and do they have actual revenue? And then he started asking, like he said, Shark Tank style from that. But they've not been able to generate. And there has to be real business. Otherwise, why would the tokens be worth anything? And then, like you said, Mr. Telecom over from the World Mobile Token or Group. Sorry, I keep calling that. But he basically was saying that we have all this stuff over in East Africa. He went into kind of some of the financial mode, like just his comparisons. And he goes, and he's like, I don't know what the hell, like, that sounds good, but he's like, I don't really, you guys haven't really shown me anything yet. And that was kind of where I think his conversation really ended with him. And
it went on a little bit longer.
Did it?
It only went on a little bit longer, but it gets super, I don't want super technical, but like mobile, I want to say World Telecom. World Mobile, like they start talking because Cuban trolls him, and he's just like, you could have this much money, but what if you only have like 6 customers? Like,
that was
2 customers paying $3 and get you $6, or you can have 6 customers. He's like, what are we seeing? And then they kind of go into, and this is what we even talked about, Ryan and I talked about a couple episodes ago. I say a couple, but it was probably May or June, about we keep on messing this up, Ryan. We talked about this in episode 50. What country is it that has adopting their actual government records to be on Cardano? Is it Ethiopia or was it?
It was it wasn't the government record. It was property deeds on.
It'll come.
I think it came to me last episode, but I think
we literally did this last episode.
Something.
So then,
Ecuador.
No, that's.
No, where was I? Can't. It doesn't matter.
Either way. So World Mobile then was like, hey, they're active in Zimbabwe, and then they were kind of comparing themselves to, you guys know, Helium Network or
Kenya.
Yeah, and thanks, Kenya. Yeah, and it was like, okay, we are actually running more than they run, and our nodes get paid more. Yeah. And World Mobile also the ISP, the internet service provider, plus the mobile provider. Like, we are end to end, and like they just basically explained it all. And at the end, Cuban was kind of just like, okay, cool, you might have something here, but like no one knows about this. You know what I mean? So
that was like, now your community's so little known. Like, unless we're in some bubble, right?
Yeah, but I personally think, because I personally think he's doing this shit on purpose.
100%.
All press is good press, and
he's probably invested in so many projects that hold Ethereum and the dApps behind that he can't go to the direct competitor. The co-founder of Ethereum out there, you can't go to the other side right now. It doesn't make any sense. The businessman, why would I flood my own bags of stuff out there? Yeah. And I think, like you said, he's a smart guy. He's not stupid. He understands this blockchain technology, and I think a lot of people that are in the mainstream right now, Cardano gets the stigma for taking its time, for never fully delivering and all this stuff. But I think as these ecosystems start to come online and they start to get into more other marketplaces, and eventually NFTs start making their way into, like, say, an OpenSea or something, big platforms, as they start breaking their way in, it's going to attract more people over this way. And eventually, if they can start bridging themselves to match, as crypto evolves here, I think it can't just be all these individual networks, right? It has to be able to bridge back and forth with other cryptos in order for crypto just in general to work. But the staking mechanism over here, the fact that 70% or whatever roughly is staked on this network, where you can earn roughly 4.5% to 5% just for leaving your crypto sitting in a stake pool, which is something super unique in the sense that Ethereum's been trying to do this for how many years now with this layer 2 and
ETH 2.0 coming soon.
It's soon TM.
It's keep on shitting on it.
It's crazy. As this stuff all does in the dApps eventually get online and they start doing their thing. I think the UTX model is very unique in the sense that it the way that it disperses the transactions. And I'm not the technical guy to get into all that stuff, but I know that there's a lot of innovation there for Cardano just in general. So I think once the world like you said, the world doesn't even understand crypto right now. How can we expect them to, all these features that Cardano is revolutionizing right now behind the scenes that we know and think is great, to the average person who doesn't even understand how to send a transaction to a wallet and what that means? How can you expect them to be like, dude, I'm aping into this thing because it makes sense, So you got to pull it back. We're not there yet. And that's why we always say we're early, right? And
we still are. Yeah. And okay, Vassal hard fork is coming. That'll change things. I'm not going to talk about technically there's SIPs, there's like diffusion pipelines, but basically it's going to make everything that Cardano does faster, smoother, easier to program in, which is literally going to attract more people. I think that the good thing is, even if Cardano is moving slow and our price is not what we'd like it to be, I don't feel as secure in any other chain. Like, Ryan and I kept on because of course we cover other stuff on our podcast too, and we just keep on talking about, we should get into Solana, we should figure this out, and then we just keep on seeing more and more Solana news about how shitty it is, and how and we're just like, we're not seeing that kind of volatility and lack of true slow building foundational infrastructure anywhere else. I mean, there's other blockchains, of course, like Polkadot, but Cardano is I don't know. We're here for a reason, and I think it's the right one to be with for sure.
It definitely feels like the future, like somewhere where we want to be long term. I feel safe in the fact that I feel comfortable stacking a bag up here, and eventually, in, like you said, 5 to 10 years, somewhere in that time frame, like, I don't even need to necessarily think about cashing out my Cardano for actual fiat. I may just use my Cardano to eventually down the line pay for shit. and different.
That was good.
Yeah. So that's kind of where the mindset with some of this stuff goes. But if you had to do real quick as we wrap this last topic, we said we were going to do these quick episodes. I think we're probably going to push like an hour and a half minimum.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a fast one, right?
And we lost TJ in the midst of all this stuff. So I don't know where he disappeared
to. Fuck it, you said an hour.
I think you're making
that up. He just cut it off.
You're remembering last week.
That was last week's episode, right? TJ was in the middle of that.
Last week. This week we got the NFG guys.
Confusing right now.
Yeah, you're mixing them up.
But real quick, if you had let's put a 5. That's what's the next bull run we're thinking 2020. Let's say 2025. ADA price prediction at that time.
So that's 3 years from now.
All-time high was what? Like for us, it was like $4.
For us, it was like what 3. Shit, I don't know if it's 380 or it was up. It was not that high. Maybe it was like 320 something. I can't remember.
So I say we bust. I'm gonna go the over all-time high for sure.
Okay, yeah,
but not astronomical, but say $5.
You know, it's funny.
I'm going $5.
Go to YouTube and Google Cardano price predictions. You're seeing stuff.
Oh my
ADA,
God, yeah.
$10, 2023, ADA, like you're seeing all these stuff. Even that guy, I forgot his name, Dan, whatever, whatever.
A crypto capital venture,
yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at some of his older stuff, $10, blah blah blah. Realistically, 3 years from now, Cardano price prediction, we're looking at $6 Canadian.
$6 Canadian. I think I've seen a lot of people kind of go like that. To me, that feels like the conservative route of like
it does. Because my mind was like $10. Yeah. My mind was, but then I was like, you know what? We can get there. If we were there at 3 when nothing happened, we go through the Vassal hard fork. Some other West African, East African nations do something big. China makes some sort of a weird collapse push, and this shit is different now. It's like geopolitically is really what's going to drive some of these blockchains. A lot of these blockchains are
no way. It's going to be Snoop Dogg opening a metaverse.
Yeah, big nation, dude.
Well, here you go. Cares about Cardano. Mark Cuban cares about Cardano. I guarantee, boys, like they're going to come, and we're just going to sit here being the OGs, and they'll be like, where do we get the knowledge? And we'll come to Freedom 35ers and non-fungible gas.
There you go. That's a good plug right there. Tom, you got a price prediction if you had to guess, or just wanted to throw a guess out there for no reason?
2025?
Yeah.
You're crazy. That's 3 years from now. 2.5 years. You know how much could happen between then?
100%. There should be so much stuff. If you had to take a guess, where would you
price
say?
Prediction. It's like if someone's got a gun to my head, I got to take a guess. What's it at right now?
It's like, I don't know, 50 something cents.
No,
he's going
$1.50.
Right
1 sec.
He's like
54 cents. I'm gonna say like 56.
There you go.
Be optimistic here.
All right, fair enough.
At least it's going up.
We will get there very slowly. If
it's 69 cents Canadian right now.
Nice.
No, I mean what we saw. It was pretty steady around $2, which is why in a lot of people's heads that we're getting in around September, it's always kind of tied to like that $2 number. I'm sure it's similar to people that got in earlier or later when it was at $1 or $3. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're seeing the entire market's kind of like crazy right now. And a lot of this is the first time ever for some of these. Not to say that crypto hasn't been around for a while and hasn't gone up and down in the past, but just where NFTs are at and how new they are and how much more popular and mainstream they're getting and how much more attention. Who really knows? I can't imagine with how much continued attention this gets. It doesn't seem like it's going away, at least for people that hate it. It doesn't seem like they're dying out. They just continue to grow in numbers. So you'd think with that, we'd see that growth in price as that demand goes up. And 3 years from now, I mean, who knows?
That's a tough one, right?
Who knows?
Yeah. So I mean,
that's Freedom 35 territory right there.
100%.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. So we need 10,000 ADA in the wallet, right, Tommy?
My goal, what I said, in order to be a millionaire at some day would be to at least minimum I would need to own would be 10,000 ADA down the line. How long that may take 10 years to get to that price point. But I think in that time frame, that could push you in that position. So my goal was always to hold 10,000 ADA at some point. I started with 1,200 a year ago at this time. And if I was to liquidate everything right now, I'd probably be quite a bit above that right now.
Buy a ledger.
Yeah. Hey, here we are. Right here somewhere.
It's funny you say that. I'm like, here we are.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
see how much
in the box.
it?
Hey, hey, dude,
box,
the guys are yelling at me. It's like, dude, I've had it for months, and it took me forever to finally set this thing up.
Mine's been sitting on my desk for a week and a half.
It's just like I got the, I don't want to. It sounds like a lot of work. I just my biggest thing, and I know you guys talked about this as well, was just like, dude, am I gonna have to like? What if I want to send some stuff out? It's like I got my liquidity right now is so bad where I just like pull in and out of different wallets and do so many different transactions. So having something where I have to like sign it physically, I'm like, I gotta sit at my desk for this.
You know what I do with my ledger? I just throw all my NFTs I want secured. I just throw them in that, and then I just have my wallet that I play with.
Yeah, no, that's a smart.
If it gets drained, it gets drained. I don't have a bag like you.
Do you? No, dude. I mean, I never had a bag per se. I mean, it got lucky with some mints, and it just literally has been minting a lot of different projects. And that's just the power of this NFT space. People always say NFTs are such a scam. They're a Ponzi. They're going to zero. Like you guys are just in this little bubble and this fad that you're in right now. But there's no use case. The people, whatever arguments they use for you.
Yeah.
But even in crypto, it's just like it feels like the little like the bastard, like the thing that people don't talk about, right? It's like, oh, we're investing in these moon coins, but you guys in NFT world is just, you guys are living in fantasy land out here. And it's like, well, I could be living in fantasy land out here, but if I would have just took my ADA last year that I bought in at $2 and had a couple thousand of it, I could have let it sit and let it stake for 5%, and that would have been sitting here on a big, huge loss. I would have been getting murdered right now. But I took that 2000 ADA that I had and went into all these different things, and here we are. And that hedge has allowed me to make a ridiculous amount more than what I had to start with. So I think that's the fun part. And I think a lot of the stuff that we're talking about right now, even these projects, they will not exist at this time next year. And I think that's important to remember. But those are the ones where you, like you said, you get in, you get out, you make your ADA, and then you keep stacking that bag to get in and chase the new hype and invest back into the ones that we think are going to be here long term. So
I think for myself, I'm going to start, because I have a number in my head, kind of like 10,000 ADA as well.
Yeah.
Every sale, it's almost like you just chip away a little bit and throw it on the ledger and just leave it and let it sit.
See, that's the smart way to do things.
Of course.
Mine's like, if I see 10,000 ADA in that ledger right now, I'm like, I got a couple floors we could sweep right now. And it's just like the mindset just is terrible about it. But like I said, you got to take the emotion like out of it sometimes.
That's awesome.
And set your goal for that. But dude, we could probably talk about this stuff all night. We'll definitely have to do a follow-up episode.
Guys, this was good, man. I forgot how much I like this from the last podcast. It was good.
Dude, it's easy to talk to you guys, and that's why, like I said, we're a podcast inception out here at this point. And dude, it's fun because you guys interview people and you talk about this stuff daily over here. We do the same, and these conversations can go on for hours if we really want them to.
Yeah.
We'll save it for CNFTcon when we're face to face.
Yeah, in person,
sharing a beer.
Right? Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I'm excited.
It'll be here faster than you think. Yeah.
It literally is 2 months?
Yep.
Yeah.
2 months.
We've been talking about it for a long time.
60 days, guys. We will we'll be up there and making our way. Are you guys doing a booth?
I think we opted not. I didn't want to be tethered. I didn't want to be tethered. I want to be going around.
We're doing the same thing. I'm gonna circulate around. Maybe we try to. I think we talked to the non-financial guys, NFA crew. They got a huge booth out there. Told them, hey, we'll rent out some space from you guys for a couple hours or something. And
nice.
Just like,
not a bad idea.
So yeah, you guys as well. Just to kind of wrap this up, you guys have this collective that you guys are a part of over on Cardano, run by is it Nighthawk? From way I understand that. Yeah. Can you give us a quick little thing before we get out of there? Because I think that's important for new people.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool to give the plug. So Nighthawk, she's been doing her thing. Actually, big part of CNFTcon right now. But like what she did earlier on was she was looking and she was like, okay, so for some of these projects, I know there's a number of developers that are well known and whatnot, but there was a couple of them that were like, we need a developer. They're not docs. There's no real like safety or whatever. So Nighthawk kind of connected with a couple of key developers, got service agreements in place, and was just like, hey, I want to make it so that if a project wants to mint, an individual wants to mint, and we're talking sites, like anything, vending machine, whatever you want to do, something way more robust than NFT Maker Pro, like no shade, right? But how that operates. She was like, she made the developer collective, and it's like, you just roll up to her collective and you're going to get like white glove, like handheld experience to mint your project. You could show up with no dev, just being an artist, and mint something of the highest quality from a logistical minting standpoint. So that's a developer collective. And then the Crypto Talent Marketplace is just kind of like collecting other people that are not developers, like artists, like community managers, mods, like whoever else. Like Ryan's like friggin' modding in a whole bunch of Discords, doing all sorts of stuff, right? Like this, like it's different for some of us that have kind of been in there and been in this space, but like someone else that might be like, I got the skills, I don't really have the network yet. Or even if you do, like think of it, the Crypto Talent Marketplace, think of it like a marketplace, a job board. Throw yourself up there, throw a profile up there. Someone browses it and be like, hey, I need a mod, I need someone I can trust, whatever. They're on there because they had a conversation with Nighthawk and her team, Extended. And then you have an agreement set in place. And things are handled by the collective, like money, everything. And there's incentives for onboarding people to that. And we had talked to her about this early during development, just through conversations I was having with her, and I was like, this is fucking dope. We need this kind of I guess assurances and whatnot, you know, in this space. There's a couple key people, but they're busy. It's not even about like there's not enough, like some people are like this, but there's just, we don't have enough people to do it. They're busy. So we talked about this, and we've been promoting it professionally. Professionally and like indirectly. And she's our channel sponsor, to be honest.
That's cool. Dope, though. It's cool that you guys can attach yourself into something like that, and it helps anybody new into the space. Like you said, if they have no idea what to get into or where to start, if you become part of that, I think that's a good onboarding process, and it gets you in networking with the correct people. I almost look at it because I come from the construction industry, from where I'm at right now. We have just chapters, different local chapters for all the different contractors and everybody to mingle with. We have happy hours and things like that. But hey, do you know this person? Oh, well, I can introduce you to this architect. I can this engineer, this developer, and you know, it just brings that network together. So I like what it's different too, because like you got these service agreements and things that you would see in the real world, that where in here there's no structure. Sometimes it's like I can just make a project and disappear, and you have no idea who I am. So for people who have a little bit more safe inside of there, I've been meaning to connect with her, just to even talk, because I think that's really cool in general. But I wanted to talk to you guys real quick since we had you on about that.
No, I appreciate that. That's super cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But she is she's a hustler. Like, she's working her ass off, man. She's a hustler. She's got her hands into so many different things. Like, it's pretty cool. It kind of really shows how the space is, like how people believe in it. Like in Ethereum, because in Ethereum, like it's cold. You know? Ryan plays there more. You know what I mean? Like it's cold. It's different.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a different space, but
completely.
It's good to see something like this in Cardano.
For sure. Well, I'm glad, like I said, for you guys to be involved with something like that. It's really cool. So I'll definitely chat about some more things like that. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little shout for that, and to her as well.
Time, man.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, dude, outside of that, guys, it's been fun. I think we can officially wrap it up here on the back end. I think we lost TJ years ago. I don't know where he went. I think that was last episode at this point, and Gordon's got a hostage in the back seat somewhere. But dude, we'll definitely have to do this again. We look forward to meeting you guys over, like I said, at CNFTcon this fall. Shit, man, 2 months is gonna go fly by. You know, inside the space. Also, a quick plug for anybody still listening on these timestamps. Maybe we'll timestamp it right here. We will be on Cardano Thor's stream. I think we're going through blocks as well this Friday. So if you're listening to the podcast right now, we will be on live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a kind of a roundtable event with some of the content creators inside the space, just to kind of give CNFTs through 2022 kind of perspective from our eyes. Going into it. We'll have I think we have 10 giveaways that we're trying to line up on that. I think official details probably will have gotten announced yesterday if you're listening now. So just keep an eye out for that. We'll have some fun topics and things like that. So definitely something to tune in for next week. Got no idea what we got going on. Maybe another guest. I have no idea. Maybe TJ will show back up. Have some fun stuff.
Interview TJ. See what
we might have another guest coming on. We'll see if there's time.
We need to fill that third spot, because TJ's just he's I don't know where he's going these days, but we love him.
Never know what he's doing back there.
I know what he's doing, dude. But Devon and Ryan, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Shout out to your communities, and shout out for you guys continuing the grind. Can't wait to see your guys' year episode, and hopefully we get a chance to connect here soon and jump on the podcast again sometime soon.
We would love that, man.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
An honor. Thanks, guys.
For sure. And usually we do some like crazy little intros and outros on this stuff. So Tom, I don't know. Do you want to take us away?